Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I have a new video for you. We're going to make a Marilyn Monroe tumbler. So we have on the turner right now that's already been prepped and cleaned and ready to apply our epoxy so that we can apply our glitter. But we have a 16 ounce is what we're working with today. And I've already sprayed it with my Rust-Oleum white spray. So right now I am mixing my epoxy so that it's ready to be applied on the tumbler. And then we're going to apply our glitter. So we're using two different glitters today. We're going to use white for the top. And we're going to use a pink for the bottom. And let me figure out what the color is so I can tell you guys. I bought it from Walmart. It's so pretty. It's called Pink Party. I don't even know if Walmart carries this anymore, but it's really pretty. And then the other one that I'm using is from Spin It, and it's called White Glitter. And you can buy that at Michael's. So I'm going to go ahead and apply the epoxy, just a thin layer so that the glitter sticks to it. But we're going to go ahead and we're going to apply it and make sure that you cover your tumbler from top to bottom. All right, so now once we've applied all of our epoxy and our cup is covered, we're going to go ahead and clean our mess up because, you know, as crafters, we like to be messy. So once I'm wiping this so that glitter doesn't stick to the wax paper. This is wax paper, not parchment paper. I prefer to use wax paper because it's easier to flex and it doesn't like curl up on you. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to start applying our white glitter to the top. Make sure that you cover your cup thoroughly with your glitter. You do not want any blotches or any space on your cup with no glitter. You want it to be fully covered. Make sure you do it thick. Once you get your second coat of glitter on it, then go ahead and tap it down and make sure it's sticking really well. So the fine glitter, I usually don't have to tap down, but I do go back over it like with another coat while it's still turning and wet. That way, if there's any of the epoxy that has seeped through, it will stick to more glitter. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to start doing the bottom of our cup with our pink. Make sure, again, that you apply a good amount of glitter because you want to cover up all of that white. Now you can spray paint your cup, like I said before. You can spray paint the bottom of it pink and do the top white. I just didn't do it this time. I figured that this glitter is chunky. It's not gonna really matter, and you won't see the white. So now we are going to apply the pink. So when you do an ombre, you're going to bring your glitter up as high as you can. This is the Walmart and you're going to do a light tap. And you're going to do a little light tap, and it's going to be like over the white, a good amount, just to get that ombre. You don't want it to come out like a lot, because then you're going to have like blotches. Glitter on the bottom. Make sure you cover the bottom of your cup really good. Tap off any extras. You can apply glitter to it as many times as you feel like you need to. And then you're going to take, you can use parchment paper, you can use your hand, and just tap the glitter so that the glitter is laying flat. You do not want to have the chunkies sticking out because then you'll have to do a lot of sanding once it dries, and you don't want to have to do that. You always should do a little bit of sanding, but you don't want to have to like be, you know, drilling for hours on your cup because it's so chunky and nothing is laying down. And you're going to do the same thing on the bottom of that cup. Is you're going to tap it. Make sure that there's no chunkies hanging off the edge of your cup. So after it's dried, I let mine dry for 24 hours. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to sand down any lumps, any imperfections, making sure that everything is smooth, because I want to put my vinyl or my any water slides, stickers, anything that I'm putting on it. You want to make sure that everything is going to sit on it smooth. So I just use my Dremel and just get the edges, fill around for any little lumps. And the cup really wasn't even that bad. It was just a couple of spots. But I always do the rim around the top just to make sure it's nice and smooth. You don't want it too rough. And remember, you're going to apply another layer of epoxy, but you want to make sure that it's as smooth as possible. That way when the epoxy goes on, for your second layer, it's going to go on smooth and you won't have any like lumps. And then we're going to wipe it down with alcohol, getting any dust, any oils off of it before we start applying anything on the cup. I do use a sanding block just to get it smoother. With the Dremel, it's going to make it a little rough. So I usually use either a sandpaper, which I use a sand block just to give it that extra touch, basically to get rid of any imperfections. So now we are going to get our cup cleaned up and ready to apply Marilyn Monroe. All right, so this is a sticker. What I did was I printed on sticker paper. I took my Rust-Oleum spray. I sprayed 3 good coats on top of that and let it completely dry before you start messing with it. And we're going to stick that on this cup. The reason why I chose to do sticker paper is because I wanted that picture to be as bright and as colorful and as vibrant as possible. And I really do like using sticker paper. It's so much easier than, you know, trying to use the white water slide paper. And I just feel like this is more effective when it comes to like getting more color out of your pictures to put on your cup. So it's just a preference. It's what I like to do. So I'm going to go ahead and take the knife and I'm cleaning the top. I try to keep the top of my cups clean after each time I've applied epoxy, because sometimes it can be a little much to get thick layers of epoxy off the cups. So I just try to clean them in between. It just makes it easier. And then I do like run the sand block over the top of it just to keep it smooth. And then once that's all cleaned up, then we'll start applying our the sticker. And then I have vinyl that I already cut out and already weeded, so we're going to go ahead and get that applied. Okay, so when I apply a sticker, I apply from the center. So I press down the center and very slow and evenly I'd go up and down. It's almost just like the water slide, but you're gonna take your time because you do not want the sticker to wrinkle up on you. And as long as you're not pressing like super hard, if you get a wrinkle, then you can lightly pull it back up. Matter of fact, that does happen to me. So I very lightly am pressing it down, and then it started wrinkling on me, and then I had to do a lift. So, I mean, it happens. And all you got to do is just put your X-Acto knife underneath it, lift it up a little bit, and then carefully, just pull slowly and carefully. And then you push it down with your hand where the wrinkle is, and then evenly up and down, go and press it back down. Simple as that. It's not hard, but I do really like using the sticker paper for certain projects because it makes things easier. Also, it's vibrant colors. It's a complete different world to me. So yeah, so now you're gonna go and you're gonna push down firmly to make sure that that sticker is good and tight. Okay, so now we're at the stage of doing trim. So some people do trim, some people don't. I do trim on my pictures. I used to not do trim, but I've came a long way since I first started. So I do add trim to mine. So I usually just use my vinyl and I use my Cricut cutter to get my lines even. I figure out how much thickness I want my trim to be. It's basically your frame, and I just start applying it. So I usually do like, oh my gosh, it's like not even an inch of a width of my frame. So you just decide on how thick you want it. Now, this vinyl that I'm using is glitter. It actually went really well with the picture. So in this picture, I don't know if you guys can see it as well as I do in person, but the bubble that she's blowing, it's actually glitter. So, and her eyelash, her eye makeup is glitter. So this kind of went with it so perfect. So I was really, it might be a little different color, but I kind of like the different color once I put it on there because it kind of made everything pop. So I use my Cricut cutter and I just kind of I usually go right off of where it cuts. So I go like maybe like a square over from where it cuts, and then it gives me my width, perfect measurements. And then I just do that throughout the same for each cup whenever I do any kind of pictures or anything that needs a frame on it to make it look a certain way. look at the difference that makes just from putting the border around that sticker. It looks so nice. I love the way it's turning out. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to start putting our vinyl on. So I picked out a Marilyn Monroe quote that I really liked. I thought it was appropriate, and we're going to apply it to this cup. So I'm just gonna go ahead and center it. It can be basically however high or low you want it. I wanted to add a little of a Marilyn Monroe touch, so I printed out or cut out with my Cricut some lips. Those are very challenging lips, let me just say. Every little crease and crevice, you got to get in there and get all the little vinyl pieces out. So I was doing that on camera, and then I got frustrated and turned the camera off and finished it. So the glitter that I did with the frame, I used the same glitter for the lips. And this actual quote that's actually from Marilyn Monroe, she had 2 lipsticks on the sides, and the lipstick was red, and I didn't really feel like changing it, so I just figured I'd just do lips. I just wanted to make my own touch. So I put 1 set of lips on here, you know, on this by the quote, and then I put a totally different set of colors. It's not glitter, it's just plain purple on the bottom, just to give it a little something. And then I found Marilyn Monroe's signature, so I put that on water slide and sprayed it with Rust-Oleum. I did that 3 times, and we apply it on the bottom of the cup underneath the quote. When you use glittered vinyl, you definitely want to do the strong transfer paper. You want to use the strong transfer paper because it does not want to grab a hold of that glitter if you're using regular transfer paper. I had a heck of a problem getting it off of there. So what I ended up doing was taking the top lip and the bottom lip and then just piecing it on my cup afterwards, because I fought with it for a while and I was getting aggravated. Like, the stuff doesn't want to come off and it doesn't want to stick to your transfer paper. It's like, it's so much time consuming that I just, finally, I was just like, done. All right, so now we're gonna do our Marilyn Monroe water slide on the picture side. So I sprayed that about 3 times because I want to make sure that it's not going to, I don't want it too sensitive because I want it to dry really well and I wanted it to be vibrant. So I'm just applying, I wanted it kind of slanted. I didn't want it perfect. I wanted it to look like it was just, you know, written on the cup. I think this cup has turned out really, really nice. I love it. I actually want to keep it So I did tell my customer that I would love to keep this cup. I fell in love with it, and she was like, well, I guess you'll have to make another one. And my husband says, no. He says, you have too many cups. So I'll have to throw this one in there, you know, when he doesn't know. Oh, wait a minute. He watches these videos. So, okay, so I'm not going to make this cup for myself. Okay, anyways. So I'm just taking a paper towel and blotting it, getting all the water out of it. You want to make sure that you push all the water out. I usually let mine dry for about 30 minutes. Because it's such a small piece, I probably won't even let it dry for the whole 30 minutes. But you want to make sure before you start applying your epoxy, you want to make sure that you have no water left on your cup. So make sure that it's completely dry or your epoxy will not cure. All right, so this is the cup completely done other than the epoxy being applied to it. So I wanted to show you guys what it looks like, how it turned out. And I really love that pink glitter. It's so pretty. If anybody runs across it at Walmart, definitely grab it. It's worth having. So I went ahead and put the cup on the turner, and I went ahead and applied my epoxy. I did 30 mil of A and B and applied to the cup. So here it is. I went ahead and did it off camera because I kind of got caught in the moment and forgot to record. But I'm gonna go ahead and use my heat gun. I don't have my heat torch. I have been having problems finding the propane to fill my torch, so I have been using my heat gun, which I prefer the torch, but it is what it is, right? So when you use this heat gun, you have to be very careful that you don't burn your epoxy. Doing the heat gun in spurts is the best way to go. If you hold it too long, it will start melting and burning your epoxy. So I usually do like a quick run over, then I wait a little while, and then I'll go back just to make sure I got all the bubbles out. Well, guys, I guess that's going to put an end to this video. I really am glad that you guys tuned in and you were with me along this journey of this cup. Make sure you like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye.